Please welcome lead industrial designer from Vay Technology, Johanna Loomis.
That's okay. So, you introduced myself, I guess. I was busy. So I'm Johanna Loomis, and I'm going to tell you why it is important to look beyond the edge. I mean, yes, we want free cities, right? Somehow. So another way how to do this is to build products who can realize that, to give us an alternative. So I'm going to tell you how cross-category inspiration can help you in building these products and how it can benefit your design process. Now I can't touch. There you go. So this is the beautiful Vay logo. I'm working there since beginning of the year, and it's a Berlin-funded startup. Before I worked there, I used to work in agencies, and I used to design, for example, Bosch power tools, or let's say Dräger safety equipment, like really hands-on stuff, but also most of the time plastic products, to be honest. And then at one point I also got this change in my mind where it was like, yeah, do I really want to do this, or do I want to do something positive for the environment and push forward into our future on this planet. So now I'm focused in the mobility field, and what we want to do is that we want to bring a sustainable, affordable door-to-door mobility service. And how we want to do this, how we want to do this is with teledriving technology, which is actually remote driving. So the idea is that we launch first with a teledriving service so that you order a car and the car is coming to your doorstep. The car is empty, so no one is sitting inside, but it's being driven by a teledriving station somewhere in the office. So you get in the car, you drive wherever you want to go, you get out, and the car drives away. It either goes to the next customer or it goes to park somewhere outside the city center so that you don't have so many cars anymore in the city. So this is about how the telestation looks like, more or less. So the teledriver sees everything the person would see in the car, and actually even a little bit more, because we have some kind of AR warning systems which is supporting the teledriver in their job, because it's actually a taxi driver, more or less. And my task is actually designing the physical end-to-end experience. So on the car side, which means all the cameras or antennas which are attached to the car, and also the interaction within the car, how do they communicate? Do they communicate at all? And this kind of experience. And also, of course, the teledriving station has to be designed eventually. And also, what are the touch points of the teledriving station of the user sitting there and working in it? Yeah, why do we do this? We just heard it clearly. Maybe I don't have to put another focus on that we have a vulnerable planet. But our goal is to reduce the overall amount of traffic in cities and the overall amount of privately owned cars. So we want to make it so attractive that it's not that you don't want to earn a private car anymore, because it's cheaper to once in a while use a Vay car instead of having one standing somewhere for 23 hours a day or even more, sometimes even for weeks. Yeah, with our electric fleet, our cars can be, with the teledrive technology, be utilized highly, so we don't have any standing times what taxi drivers have. For example, we can just jump from one region in a city to another very fast and very easy. And of course, we want to reduce the amount of CO2 and also noise pollution in the cities. What I do next to my job is that I'm a part of the IF Design jury. And there I'm getting in contact. I don't know if everyone knows what that is. The IF Design Award, maybe not all of you heard about it. It's like an international design award. And they give prizes in different kind of categories. It's mostly still industrial design and product design related, but they also start getting into experience design and UI design. So we are judging thousands of products a year, which means that we have quite a good overview of what is happening in different kind of industries. And we see that we all have different kind of perspectives on topics, but it doesn't mean that we have different trends or topics. I mean, we have different perspectives, but not different trends. And you can just figure it out if you talk to other people in other industries. So when do you do research at all? So this is like the double diamond model. So if you are in a design process, you open up, I also call it the crocodile, by the way. You open up in the discovery phase when you just try to figure out what the real problem is to like catch the right topic. And then in the second point where you open up again your research and your like eagerness, your mouth of ideas is in the development phase where you're looking for solutions. So at Vay, I had the problem, like I couldn't go too deep into my research. I mean, I could go deep, but I didn't find anything because we don't have any competitors. We don't have anyone who did it like that before. So there was nothing left and right what I could like pick up on. So I had actually to look beyond the edge and to see what is happening in other industries and what could I transfer into my area. So why do we want to do this? Of course, we want to build better products, and also we don't always want to go with the easiest way because, I mean, that's probably what the competitors are going to do. And we also have to understand that users are surrounded by hundreds of products a day, and not only yours, which means that they are being influenced by other products as well, not only by ours. Also, although we would like that, but it definitely also helps to understand the physical context if you're looking like beyond the edge and beyond the user. So one example, what I was talking about, is the attention to put the attention to experiencing the context. Like if we identify as teachers now for a second, we want to solve one problem, and we are a math teacher, so we're looking very deeply into numbers, and that's all we care about at that moment. That's actually a quite vertical experience. If we are looking on the student side, this is a horizontal experience. They're not only seeing the one class, but they're having a lot of classes a day. So maybe he just saw something disrupting in physics and he will bring his experience into the math class. So it is super important to understand the full context of your product, to understand the whole journey of the user, and not only in your tidy area where they use your product, but what are the trends around it and what other people are surrounded with. So at the beginning of my career, I was actually working in China. And there, some smart people said, don't be shy to copy. So at the beginning I thought, yeah, I mean, that's not very creative, isn't it? I mean, copying is quite negatively connoted in Germany. So after a while, I actually understood, it took me like 12 years, but after a while I understood that this is actually not a stupid thing. Because if you take someone else did before, and it doesn't need to be like copy-paste the same product, just take a part of a product, put it into yours and make it smarter all around. But if you do that, you have a probably more intuitive product because this interaction might be known already by the user and you don't start with zero, or you have to teach them everything. And yeah, that's about it. Also, Stephen Johnson said in his book, where good ideas come from, good ideas do not, for the most part, come from the inside. What in the world? Come not from the most part, from the inside of someone's head. It's that it comes from the outside, specifically from social interaction. So I just want to encourage you to dig deep into your topic, but then also get out of that hole again and look left and right what else there is. And in best case, that's why you're all here, and that's amazing, find community and talk to other people. If you don't have a community yet, there's the Hamburg Design Tag, and a lot of people are meeting there. And if you're looking across categories also, this is quite interesting and a good platform to meet other people and other designers as well. So how trends work. There are like mega trends who have like more or less 10 years of, could also be much more than that, of Laufzeit. Don't know. Then there are macro trends which are around 3 years, and then there are micro trends. And if you have a problem now, what you have to solve, you might just look into the micro trends because you have a specific problem and you're totally focused on solving it and you're looking for solutions left and right. And I just want to say it really, really helped me to zoom out and to abstract the topic also and look into the macro trend to see other industries, what is happening there and how do they solve that problem. So go a bit further than you would do normally. So that's with our design jury this year, we discussed many topics and there were a lot of overlapping discussions happening around these 4 topics. So now I'm getting a bit more like how I use this kind of approach. And I give you some examples. So the eco-offensive, fetching feelings, end-to-end service, and expandable systems. These are like the overarching trend observations, tendencies, however you want to call it. But what we in discussions found out are overarching over different kind of industries. So there are some examples for mobility. So the eco-offensive, for example, is here like the circular economy and sustainability acquiring the luxury part as well, that it's not like just an overarching topic, but that it's like also specifically for luxury. That is happening in different kind of areas. Here it is for BMW. It's a vision in the far, far future, unfortunately. There's nothing realized yet. But in fetching feelings, there are many concepts around autonomous driving because they want to pick the people up where they are and how they feel, where they feel most welcome and most comfortable, which is probably their living room. So they are picking the living room interior design and putting it into a car to make you feel home in this time you're getting as a plus, which you haven't had before because you had to drive yourself. In the end-to-end service, it's about like selling a full brand experience. Also, again, BMW. If you buy a car, you're not only buying a car, but you're selling like you're buying a whole brand experience. So, for example, it's a sporty car. It's for sporty people, so you get a fitness card membership because you are sporty, right? And then expandable systems, it's like vehicle to traffic participants. That's like a huge topic. Also autonomous driving. It will definitely be a challenge how cars and pedestrians are going to communicate with each other. There are many concepts around it. I'm not sure text is the right way to go, but there are many different topics about it right now and concepts how to solve this kind of problem. In Germany, many things are solved. But if you're looking abroad, for example, America, there are many traffic areas where it's like not 100% clear who's going first. And they need some kind of solutions because there's no one inside who's like pushing you forward. So now you might think, isn't that all mobility specific? And I can tell you, no, it's not. It's actually exactly the same in consumer goods. It just manifests itself a bit differently. So, for example, the eco-offensive, you can see that the dematerialization of smartphones is the big topic. So the idea is that the smartphones are not needed anymore in the future because every product itself becomes smart and they're all being controlled by themselves, so you don't need a smartphone anymore. In fetching feelings, it's like the anthropomorphism of household robots, and in robots, general, who are just conquering our lives, and we are getting in touch with like with technical products much closer, and we have to interact them with them also somehow, so they get like cute little names, and you're just also swearing about them because they're in the way, or you're just greeting them when you're coming home, but you get some kind of an emotional connection to a robot. That's definitely a topic. I don't know the time, I don't have a visible, but it's fine. Otherwise I can jump some topics, but oh, easy. Really? Okay. Well, yeah, I do have some more chance. That's not the problem. So in the kitchen area, it's like the seamless kitchen and AI, so that the household devices are talking to each other, so that the meal is like being prepared for you more or less. But it's for sure that the finishing time is like perfectly communicated with them, and also that like the fridge is getting your food and is ordering your food on Amazon, and everything is like, you don't have to do anything, the kitchen will cook for you. And that's amazing. So in expandable systems, almost every product, every client I worked for in the agency had this kind of idea of like a systematic product which you can extend and also like decrease or extend whatever, but that it's like a flexible kind of modules which you can always like bend into or put away. And then it's also the same in the digital area, right? As we heard last time, we have the eco offensive, obviously, in the SUX manifesto we heard about last time from Thorsten. In fetching feelings, we have the idea of organic displays and organic interfaces that also definitely is coming from a cross-category idea of like pulling a curtain somehow. It's like putting into this. So you have a different kind of interaction in another field and you're transferring it into yours to make something more emotional. And the end-to-end experience, they're fully digital experiences right now, and ecosystems where you have the whole delivery system only digital, so that you don't even have to go to the post anymore. Everything is being picked up, so it's like super easy, everything digital. And in expandable systems, we will hear more about that today, so I'm not talking too much about it. But yeah, the idea of having a system which is like being extended on phone, desktop, can also go into physical world, into a POS. And then, if you have seen all of these ideas and all of these trends in different areas, you have to draw conclusions for your product. So these are not things we do right now actually at Vay, but that's something we have to be aware of and what we have to think about. For example, if we say we don't have smartphones anymore, or we don't, I don't know, we are traveling just without our smartphone, what do? We have to think about other solutions, how we can unlock the car. We have to use more embedded systems, like all the other products are doing it as well. So we have to react on it somehow. Fetching feelings, I mean, you can see communicating with like a face is quite easy for us humans, not for everyone though, but for most humans. If you have your phone still and you have the whole interaction and the whole communication over the phone, you can also use a video feedback form so that everything, the whole connection is like being in this little device. And if you're thinking about expandable systems, our transportation way with private transportation with a car is just one part of transportation. It can be thought much, much bigger. There are also planes, there are trains, there are scooters, there are bikes. So we might have to think about eventually, think about partners and cooperate to become a multimodal system to have the best experience for the user at the end. So I want to challenge you tonight to find someone who's working in another industry and to ask them some questions. For example, where do you find trends? Like that's the biggest question, right? You're standing there and listening into it, okay, how do you know that exactly? So talk to each other. We all are somehow on the edge workers, like we have all topics that we are innovators somehow. So also discuss about like what are your current challenges, because you can also get input from the others, and also maybe the other person has even ideas how to solve these challenges. And also the biggest question is always in design, at least, like, can you observe changes in user behavior in that field you're working in? Because that may also get into my field and also have influences on my product at the end. So at the end, it's about talking about ideas and discussing about ideas, and also talk about events like this, for example. But we don't really talk about people, right? We don't do that. So if you have any questions, I also actually helped writing the Trend Report 2023 for next year for the IF Design Award. If you have any questions regarding that, just contact me. If you have questions or more ideas for Vay technology, please feel free. And also we are looking for software engineers and also teledrivers. If someone wants a side business, why not? That's it.